What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, trolls and citizens, the JJs and PPs. This is your boy X-Lover Newman giving to you a video that I usually don't do, but this video is gonna get straight to the point. I don't want to waste any of your time. Anyone who's super inclined with the Mignogna situation should watch this video. The reason why is because I'm gonna give you a unique perspective. Trust me when I say that this lesson doesn't come by you too often. Super quick, boring story, but when I was younger, I was a huge fan of Mignogna. Not just him, but the voice acting panels in general. I was a huge fan of Dragon Ball, Inuyasha, Yu Yu Hakusho, etc, etc. Like a lot of kids in the early 2000s, I was watching Toonami, and I was watching DC animated films, cartoons, and Marvel cartoons as well. I became aware of Vic's super talent through Dragon Ball and Full Metal Alchemist. Now, anyone watching this video probably immediately assumes that I'm gonna be biased to Mignogna because I'm a fan. But none of you know me personally, and to inform you, I'm the most unbiased person in the world, including with things that I enjoy and I love. I can always look at somebody that I admire as just a human being. I was never that freak person that worshipped celebrities or worshipped someone because I enjoyed them. I wasn't even planning on uploading a video on this Mignogna situation at all, actually. But then day by day I began to see the social media outroar about the Mignogna situation, people's opinions about the situation. Then I ran into a YouTuber named Meepy Gal, and when I began to watch her take on the Mignogna situation, I said to myself, I have the golden template right here.
What do you mean by that, X-Lover Newman?
Meepy Gal makes a video about her opinions on the matter. What I really liked about her video was that she actually gave Mignogna's statement in his defense. I thought that was really cool. So as not to influence you by my opinion, I want to play you a clip of her take on the Mignogna situation when she met him. Now, what I want you to do is, instead of looking at her as a YouTuber, pretend you're talking to her. Pretend you're next to her and she's telling you this story.
Oh, Dave and I start the interview and he is straight up delirious. He looks like he just hasn't slept for 48 hours. He looks so delirious. I kind of get nervous. He just starts getting really close and he grabs the mic out of my hand and I'm like, the fuck? Okay. And then he starts trying to interview me and Dave back and forth. And he'd ask questions like, oh, are you two dating? Or just weird shit. And he'd just get close to both of us and we were just like, yep, we were right. This dude is fucking weird.
So if I never met Mignogna or wasn't aware of who he was, I would immediately think that this guy was a really strange dude. I mean, by the way Meepy Gal tells the story, you would think Mignogna was some asshole, but in fact, not only does she edit the video to make it more extreme.
Hi, we are with Mignogna tonight.
So we are with what's left of Mignogna.
So delirious, I kind of get nervous.
Let's play it here. Hi, I'm Mignogna. I'm here interviewing.
Christina.
He just starts getting really close and he grabs the mic out of my hand.
She doesn't tell the full story. Lucky for you viewers, I have the original video. Let's play the clip of the video, and then we'll analyze it after.
Hi, we are with Mignogna tonight.
So we are with what's left of Mignogna. Oh my gosh, what a great day at SoccerCon, you guys. The fans here are amazing. I just finished an autograph session and it was 5 hours long. Finished an autograph session and it was 5 hours long.
He looks like he just hasn't slept for 48 hours.
I just finished an autograph session and it was 5 hours long.
That is intense. Does your hand hurt from signing everything?
No, but I can't see very well right now.
Oh.
Is that a camera? There's a microphone. I mean, I'm just so really strung out, but in a good way. In a really excited way to be here and to be spending the day doing this.
Yeah. Have any highlights so far?
The highlights are always the fans.
Always the fans.
No matter where I go, different cities are cities and buildings are buildings, but at the end of the day, it's the people that you get to meet. And I met some awesome people today. It's been a great time. How about you? Let's play it here. Hi, I'm Mignogna. I'm here interviewing.
Christina.
I'm here interviewing Christina. She's here at SoccerCon. Christina, what have been the highlights of your day? Here, let's trade. How are you doing? How have you been enjoying the weekend?
I'm doing fine.
What's your name?
David.
David? What's your favorite color, David?
Red.
From that story, without any footage, you would immediately think that he was just this weird, crazy guy that grabbed the microphone from this poor, helpless girl. But in the video, he literally states himself that he's been signing autographs for 5 hours straight. He's not there and he's delirious. And for being delirious and signing autographs for 5 hours, I think he actually did a pretty great job. And we see in the video that the reason why Vic Mignogna took the microphone away from her was because he was trying to fix the awkwardness. She was awkwardly interviewing him. They were both awkward. Clearly, I'm not attacking Meepy Gal for her interviewing skills. She's a young girl that's interviewing somebody probably for the first time. But nonetheless, that doesn't change the fact that it's still kind of awkward. However, I just have a huge question of why she edited the part out where he explains why he's delirious. And that's sort of what leads me to my point. Human beings are very much an inaccurate source. It's very rare to come by people who are just extremely accurate about their stories. I have a strange feeling that if Vic Mignogna was Kevin Hart, the interview wouldn't be taken that seriously. For those who don't know Vic Mignogna, he was a goofball. He was somewhat of a comedian back then too, not just a voice actor. He would always joke. He was very childlike. But why you should always reserve judgment until a case is fully finished or until you have the evidence is because of this exact example in this video. It's a very simple principle. Human beings do not always tell the story right. I would be curious to ask Meepy Girl if she's never been awkward with anyone, if she's never been goofy with anybody, if she's never been a little weird sometimes even, but harmless. I'm not saying she's intentionally trying to destroy Vic Mignogna's legacy, but I just do find it strangely odd how she intentionally edited the video to make it sound and look like Vic Mignogna is a weirdo. But what I see and what all the people around me see is a tired, delirious, goofy man that's been working all day. Ex-lover, are you saying he's innocent? I have to go back to what I said before. I don't know if he's innocent. I don't know if he's guilty. I don't have the evidence. And I think every single person has to ask themselves 3 questions. Were you there? Did you hear anything? And did you see anything? If all those questions are a no, then you indeed cannot condemn Vic Mignogna, and you indeed cannot defend him unless you are someone personal to his life. In the video, you can clearly see he even gets just as close to the man as he does to Meepy Gal. This might be a culture shock to some people, but Italians are very much physically affectionate people, especially the older generation of Italians. Vic Mignogna is Italian, but for some strange reason, I have a feeling if Vic Mignogna was a female, none of his physical affection would be weird to anyone at all. I spoke earlier about the fact that Meepy Girl's video really is misleading, and if we were on a court process based on Vic Mignogna's personality, I would presume him innocent. Innocent in being a weirdo, even though that very much is perception. I mean, I remember the time when the media would attack Michael Jackson for going out with an umbrella. Everyone considered it so weird, so strange, until you find out later on that he was a victim of an autoimmune disease called lupus. That also doesn't count the fact that he was trying to protect his skin from the sun due to his vitiligo. All this was documented in his official autopsy. But without context, you would immediately think of someone as a freak or a strange person. I really can't imagine being one of the most famous people in the world and how many stories of yours is completely exaggerated and taken out of context. What people have to understand is if you blatantly and blindly defend Vic Mignogna because you're a fan of his, you are indeed doing harm to possible women that are victims of something horrible. To all of you blindly defending someone you don't know.
He gets these people who say he's a pervert and everything like that. No, he's not.
To all of you blindly defending someone you don't know, you do have to understand that if these allegations are true, these women or this woman, we don't know all the information, has to live with what happened to her for the rest of her life. It never goes away. But if these allegations are false, Vic Mignogna has to live with this for the rest of his life. Vic Mignogna has to live with anguish and mental trauma for the rest of his life too. But false allegations seem to be something that people try to turn a blind eye on. What's never talked about too much is what men have to deal with when they are falsely accused, when they are truly innocent. Despite Michael Jackson being acquitted on all 10 counts, not 5, not 4, not 2, 10 counts, he is still to this day stamped by a lot of people as a pedophile. But what you don't see is the effect, the breakdown, the trauma that an innocent man goes through when he is being falsely accused.
I'm trying to take a back. Okay. I just want to be left alone. Why don't they leave me alone? Why? You know, I would never do anything to hurt a child. I'd slit my own wrist, Bill, before I did anything to hurt a child. You know, right?
Yes, sir.
You believe me?
Of course, sir.
You believe me, Bill?
Yes.
If Vic Mignogna is innocent, he has to deal with this for the rest of his life. See, what you guys don't know, when men are accused, corporations stop working with them, contracts may get canceled or terminated. That immediately, it not only affects him, but affects his children, his wife, his family, his loved ones. Imagine you working at the job you work at now, woman or man, and you are falsely accused of something horrific such as rape or sexual harassment, and your job says to you, sorry, we don't want any of this smoke around us. We have to let you go permanently. Imagine the rage you would have of walking around somewhere every day knowing that you're innocent, but people deem you as a freak and a pedophile. You shouldn't defend anyone blindly. You shouldn't condemn anyone blindly, especially when you do not have the facts or evidence. Because history clearly shows that many women have falsely and wrongly accused men of sexual crimes.
The end of Brian Banks' ordeal was marked by tears after a judge threw out the rape charge that had sent him to prison for more than 5 years.
My only dream in the world was to just be free and to have the same opportunity as everybody here.
When in 2002, a classmate accused Banks of raping her in the stairwell of their Long Beach high school. Although Banks insisted it was consensual and there was no sex, he told KCBS TV that his defense attorney at the time gave him a choice: plead no contest to rape or risk a trial that could send him to prison for life.
When you go into that courtroom, the jury is going to see a big black teenager and you're automatically going to be assumed guilty. Those are her exact words.
He took the deal, went to prison, and had to register as a sex offender. He thought that was the end of it. But after he was released, came a surprise. A friend request on Facebook from his accuser, Juanetta Gibson.
I remember closing the laptop just like real quick and just like thinking like, what did I just see?
So Banks arranged a meeting with a private investigator who videotaped the whole thing.
No, he did not.
Gibson later explained she hadn't wanted to say that publicly for fear of losing a $1.5 million settlement that her family had gotten after suing the school district.
Well, Liam, let's also talk about the platform that you're on, because we're sitting here, we're talking to you, your mum's here beside you, we all know who you are, we all know what you're accused of. Your life was put on hold and people, a lot of people would have said there's no smoke without fire.
And we also know that many women have truly been victims of sexual crimes. Respectfully to Meepy Gal, she was reckless in her storytelling. And by seeing the footage of the story that she recounts, it's the perfect example of the theme of this entire video: context. To all the people promoting the message, believe all women, or believe all survivors, I have one question for you. Do you have one man in your life that you love to the ends of the earth? Whether it's your son, your father, your grandpa, uncle, husband, whoever he may be. If that man in your life that you love and you know beyond a doubt would never do anything to harm a woman or anyone, if he was accused of sexually harassing somebody at work, would you immediately go and condemn him and defend the woman? And if your answer is yes, I'm very glad I don't know you. If Vic is innocent, you have to understand that when men are falsely accused of these things, they are also gutted, they are also traumatized, and for the rest of their life, they have to have a stamp on their forehead as a possible pedophile. So the message of this video is simple. To all of you blindly defending or condemning Vic Mignogna, or defending and condemning the possible victim or victims of Vic Mignogna, shut the fuck up.